What's going on, ladies and gents? We're back here again at the PICO Reef. I'm really enjoying this little build. I hope you guys are too. We're here to look about some water movement inside of this little tank. G'day, I'm Luke, and I'm an avid reptile and amphibian keeper. On my channel, you'll see heaps of DIY tutorials, enclosure builds, herping clips, and loads more to do with animals. I hope you subscribe for some more animal related content. So on the last video, guys, I'm pretty sure after we put all the corals in, I had a good chat about the fact that the water flow didn't seem to be enough in this tank, and I stand by that, especially with just the little return filter. I keep going to call it a return filter. It's an internal filter. Get it right. Yeah, especially with just a little internal filter there. So I added in that little Aqua One return pump just to kind of generate a little bit more water movement in there. And whilst it's doing the job and there's nothing really wrong with it, I just wanted to kind of create a bit more of a surging wave motion in there rather than a constant wave motion. So I want to kind of create a little bit of back and forth wave tension just to kind of really stimulate these corals a little bit, rather than just kind of like that all-round constant flow effect. The way that we're going to do that is buy a new pump. I probably saw it hiding down here in my lap. And this is seriously one of my favourite pumps out there on the market, especially when you're talking about budget pumps. It's really good. It does have flaws, so I'm going to cover all those for you. But this is just a little J-Bow SW2. It's a really, really tiny little circulation pump. They're really good because they're controllable, so you can actually set different modes on these things. It comes with like a little controller where you can set it into wave motions or, you know, pulsing or all these other different types of settings. They are really good. The biggest downfall of these is I have seriously broken quite a few of them, so I do end up tossing a lot of these in the bin. And it sounds kind of silly. It's like, well, why did you buy another one? Well, the reason I bought another one is because there's no other pumps on the market that can do such small amounts of wave motion for little tiny nano or pico tanks that I've discovered yet. If you do know of any, please let me know down in the comments so I don't have to keep buying these guys. But I'm talking about controllable wave makers. These guys can do a minimum of 500 litres an hour. And, you know, if you're putting that on kind of like a surge mode or something where it kind of just does it softly back and forth, you're not talking about much water flow at all. You know, us as a shop, being, you know, me when I'm working at high-tech aquariums, I think the lowest wave maker that we have, like a proper wave maker, a circulation pump that's adjustable angle and everything, is one of the Sichi ones, which again are fantastic, but they're 1,000 litres an hour, which is double what this is. So when you're talking little tanks like this, it's a little bit too much water movement, especially at a constant flow and not controllable. You know, if it was going into something like this, perfect, wouldn't even sweat it. But I do really enjoy these little pumps. I just wish that they were a little bit better quality and actually lasted for a lot longer. And, you know, these little guys, I think they go for between about 50, 60 Australian dollars. So it's not a massive amount of money, but I'd rather not replace one a year. So anyway, guys, let's open up this box. Let's have a little look in here, see what you get. It is a pretty simple little system. Got the actual wave maker itself. So you can see that they're a pretty tiny little unit. They're not too big. You've got the little magnet on the back here as well. So I'll take that little guy off. It's a strong little magnet for what they are. And then you've got this little adjustable head here too. So not a bad little unit, as I said. Long cords to them. Oh, I haven't seen this on them before. That's pretty new. I've never seen one of those suction caps on one of them. So that's pretty cool, especially if you want to kind of like move the cord around inside of the actual aquarium itself and put it in a new position. I've never seen that on one of those. Maybe they've upped the model or something. It comes with a little controller. So this little guy here, this is where you kind of get to choose all your speeds and settings and all bits and pieces, and change your flow rates up and down, fast or slow. They're a pretty good little unit. Actually comes with a little sticky pad as well, a little double-sided sticky pad, so if you do want to stick it somewhere that you can see it inside a cabinet or something like that, that'd be perfect. I'm not going to do that. I'm probably going to face this against the ground, as bad as that sounds. These light up quite bright, and as they kind of go up and down the wave motions, they keep lighting up. This being in a bedroom, I can't really have that anywhere. You know, it'll annoy me, it'll annoy my wife, so we're not going to do that. The other option is you could use some like black electrical tape over the top of it, and that'll kind of just stop the light shine into your face, so to speak. Also comes with a little transformer here, so these guys are made in China, so it comes with a little AU plug, so you can fit it into our power boards and everything here. So yeah, nothing too difficult with this one. I'm just going to take out that little pump and put this one together, and we'll have a look at the settings and stuff when we go to do that, so you can just see a bit of the wave motions and everything that you can kind of set on there. And hopefully these corals really enjoy just a little bit more of a surge rather than a bit of a constant flow. And it just gives me overall a little bit more controllability for the actual system. So another thing that I plan to add into this wavemaker is this little custom anemone guard. This is made by one of the members on MAFA, Marine Aquarium Fanatics Australia. I have just discovered that it doesn't clip onto this model in particular. So I did use these on the older ones, but they might have changed the shape or something of them. So I might have to come up with a way just to kind of jerry rig that into place, whether that just be a little zip tie or something of the likes, just to make sure that we do get a little bit of protection there. As I've shown earlier, we do have a little anemone in there, and it has been walking around a fair bit, so I don't really feel like mincing him up. And you know, I might end up putting him in another system, but for now I do want to run this little anemone guard, so I might just see if I've got a zip tie lying around, just so I can kind of zip it front to back and hold it into place. I have actually been talking to that same member of Marine Aquarium Fanatics Australia. I think his name's Cam Basford. I could have pronounced that wrong too, so I'm sorry, Cam, if you ever do watch this. Sorry about that. But I have been talking about a bit of a different design of a 3D printed cover, not for anemones as such, but to allow this to be placed further towards the top of the aquarium, and enough that it can kind of make the water surge up and down but not suck in air, so a little bit of a kind of half moon cover over the top of this. So that might be coming in future episodes. Hopefully we can work out something there, because I do want to kind of turn this into a bit of a lagoonal PICO tank where it has like a really nice flow back and forth. So there we go, I've just zip tied that into place there. It's certainly not pretty, but it's going to do the job, and that's all I really need it for. Alright, so now comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Plug that in, wait for everything to light up. I'm going to kill the speed on this little guy. So at the moment, it looks like it's in wave 1 mode. It means it's kind of creating a surge, turning it off, creating a surge, turning it off. So that's probably the mode that we want it in. But I just want it on the lowest speed possible as well, because I don't want it to be too intense for everything that's in here. It's going to give a good amount of movement to the tank. You can already kind of see a nice little surge in water on the top of the water surface there. I will give you a bit of a close-up in a sec. That's just creating a nice little wave throughout, really stimulating a few of these corals and things to float around a little bit. If you wanted to, you could try out different modes. So like wave 2 is a bit more of a consistent power type mode. It's kind of like ramp up, ramp down. Then you've also got like your high and constant and everything, but we're just going to do it on this one because it's the lowest kind of setting you can get. As I said, we only want a little bit of water movement in this tank. We don't want it to be too intense, especially being just a 20-litre tank. You know, we don't want to blow these corals out of the water or anything as well, and we want to keep the water inside the tank. So here you can see that really tiny pump is creating a fair amount of surging water on top of this water surface here. You can see that wave cutting in, cutting out. That's exactly what we wanted. Just a little bit, every few seconds, and I've got this on the slowest mode I can, like even when you're looking at the actual controller itself. This is dialed right back to slow. It's on the lowest lowest speed setting, and it's on that wave 1 circuit. So this particular setting is pretty much why I love these little pumps. We'll have to see how the corals and everything adjust to it. I think most of them are going to be doing fine. So yeah, you can really see that wave there getting created. You can even see this little green rhodactus in the corner here. It's getting a little bit blown around. So maybe we'll find a new little spot for him. We'll see how these guys react to it as well. But most of the corals look pretty happy. That little tiny Deshi there is looking really happy. He's got his feeding tentacles out. Little green star polyps are looking pretty good at the moment too. They seem to not be minding it so much. And the hammer's definitely enjoying a bit more flow. So yeah, yet another little upgrade to a little PICO reef. So there we have it guys, just another little simple addition into this little PICO reef. Hope you enjoyed the video. There will be a few other little additives coming to this. I still need to get a fish or two in there. Probably just one if anything. I'm still kind of considering whether I go for something like a, really hardy damsel, like a domino damsel or a 4-stripe damsel, or, maybe even just like an ornamental shrimp, like a cleaner shrimp or something of the likes. Probably going to lean towards the fish route, but you never know. We'll see what kind of crops up in the shops around here. I've also got another toy or two that I wouldn't mind trying out in this little thing. Just have to see what stock's like around the world at the moment. It's a little bit crazy to kind of order in bits and pieces. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this little tank. It's a nice little addition into here. I am pretty nuts for my saltwater aquarium stuff as well as my reptiles, so it's kind of cool to bring you guys along with this, and hopefully you guys are getting a kick out of it. But we'll see what happens. We can only go from here. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel if you did like this content. And if you do want to support the channel any further, make sure to go and check out my Patreon page, as well as Teespring. Get yourself some cool shirts and stuff, mainly reptile related shirts now, but there should be some fish stuff maybe coming in the future as well. So thanks for joining in guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.